Hi, what's happening? Mr. Dave here. We're hanging out in the studio, little office in the house on the hill, and we are going to look at one of the earliest projects I did back in the day. One of my favorites. It was a big step up in the challenges of making projects in faux rock. So this is a project review from a job maybe 15 years ago. It's been a while now, and as we look at the past and we go through the process of construction, we're going to show you the end of it and then work our way towards the beginning and then into the rebar phase, just a touch, and show you the process that we went through to create this pretty cool project. This thing actually had a spiral staircase in it. As I shrink myself down and put myself in the corner, we have here a big space, a lot of land area here, and what a transformation. This thing had a swim-in grotto. There was openings right here, as you can see in the middle where my little pointer thing is. There was also opening back here on this side, so you could come into it this way and right through the waterfall. This is after we have completed it. The pool work hasn't been done. You can see the flagstone is happening along the edge of the coping and is being built. They're still finishing it up here on the spa. Huge, big spa. We have some satellites here and some groupings. Again, the idea is to stretch out and spread out your rock work so it doesn't look like just a pile of rocks. So a lot of times we see projects with just like this big dunk stuck on the edge of a pool, and it actually isn't the looking like the landscape is actually a natural phenomenon. It's sort of a strange isolated pile. This one had also a water feature on the side here. This is sort of the kiddie pool over here in the back. It started up here and worked down and then fell off this little clip. Four walls that went all the way up the back of the yard to support that area. Came over here, went down, and then right in here is the actual kiddie pool. It's about 18 inches deep, 16 inches deep of water back in here, and there was a little step down from this side. There's an elevated space over here, and we're going to show the footing, the retaining wall that built up a bracket of this raised planter box here, if you will. So behind this whole feature right here, the deck is about at the level of maybe the weir or the waterfall coming out here. So there's a section that's raised up behind here. But this was really cool. It had a little zigzag stream that went out. There's what's called a slip screed, I think it is, or slip sheet, if I can remember what the name is. A slip sheet underneath it, both the slide and the waterfall, so it could slide independent of the pool when it comes to expansion and contraction. There's a 50-foot slide we have here with a pretty good elevation drop, as you can sort of see, and it's got quite a ride, and the homeowner that we did this for was like, this slide is so cool. So we had quite a nice crazy project here. Inside here you can swim in, and there's a spiral staircase that goes up and gets into this cave space in here. And this we're just sort of giving you a look at this project from the phase of the construction of it. This is a little bit of an example. You can see the nature of this finished rock work thing, and the way the color is. It's pretty neat. I like how everything came out. The waterfall splits, comes around this side and goes around this side from a starting pond that's right beneath my helper there, Shane. He was the worker guy. This is an entrance to a cave area, as it were, and you'll see a little bit of what's underneath all this as we keep walking through this project review. All right, this is just before Shotcrete Day. Check this out. Look at that. Pegboard everywhere. I pre-poured this stuff. The pool is all shot, and the rebar shots, the pictures we're going to come into after this this one here we'll see is before the pool is even shot. In fact, it'll be the day of Shotcrete that we're shooting the swimming pool itself. But this is the rock work prep that was done. Burlap on the inside of these satellite rocks up here. You just saw the water feature right here. That's all going to be done after, or came out. It was shot after the pool structure was shot. The pool, I think, took 10 trucks, so that's a lot of concrete. 10-foot deep pool, very deep, and we have light conduit coming through here, so you can bring lights into the waterfall area and aim up and be able to see what's going on. A little window right there, so you can actually look out of the inside of the grotto and look out into see the pool area. So a lot of pegboard and a lot of pieces. You can kind of see the shape of them. This bottom section has been pre-shot. We did that with the shotcrete for the swimming pool, and so we're going to look at that next. But this, I just wanted to show you this, some of the steps here, just to give you sort of an idea of what's happening with this thing. This is how this project started out. You can see there's 4 walls retaining that back slope and creating planter spaces for fruit trees and such. Pretty darn cool. After that, we have this. This is the overall finished project that you saw before. Still landscaping is happening. We're putting in drains down here below. That's that drain pipe in there. And so we're going to go on to the shotcrete day. This is the shotcrete day. Again, 10 trucks, 8 to 10 trucks, I'd have to guess. Plastic up, rebar stub ups for my satellite rocks that are scattered around. We did a lot of rebar prepped before the shotcrete day. And so that's put in before the pool has been shot. And that's nice because it's totally bonded. You get that locked in to the steel, and that's a nice thing. No drilling or epoxying steel rebar into an existing concrete structure. Satellite rocks right here. You see the board behind there is a backing, and so we're going to shoot that up. And again, that's to create a raised bond space. Everything behind you is going to be backfilled with all that dirt there, compacted, and then a deck's going to be poured on there. And our entire walk-in grotto that you just saw will be on top of that. Handwork, guys, amazing, these guys. They don't wear masks a lot of times, which seems a little crazy because you've got shotcrete blowing in there, 200 miles an hour, I was told once, at full air. And it's turning concrete into atomized concrete particles, which is like you don't want to breathe that. For some reason, these old timers, they just don't worry about it, and they might put a scarf over their face, but the scarf isn't going to do much. In any event, long process. It was upwards of 100, I think it was 102 degrees that day, brutally hot. It was a hard day, wore me out. We got a fan over here going on trying to cool off the team here. You can see they just put boards in here. Just simple, it's not pegboard, but it's similar to that. And you can kind of tell that they just sort of throw that stuff up. It's not perfect, but it's just enough. You build this stuff up little by little. The concrete is being blown on there. And you just can hold the board there for that matter, and then they just blow right up to it if the concrete's not going to fall off. Filling in gaps and voids behind the street, the dig and the steel that's been placed in there. All these are number 4s going up. It's not 60 grade. I think it's 40 grade. It's a little softer than the 60. 60 is impossible to bend, although I was able to do it. But man, you blow your spleen out trying to bend 60 grade half-inch rebar. Did that on the big crazy monster alpine job, which some of you may have seen. They start at the bottom, work their way up, blowing on that shotcrete, and it starts to firm up. Like this is all part of the same day. So they blew it on. It's firmed up enough. Chop off the boards that are all around there, and the tie wires are in there. And you can see them sticking out. All these little voids will be sprayed over. They're going to blow over this stuff, and a lot of times they'll score that with their trowels to get it not so smooth. So they're building up all this rebar I put in before shotcrete day, obviously. And so we'll move along. You can see how they're blowing up the bottom of it, and you build it up because it's getting hard. That's the thing about shotcrete. Once you start going, you got to go till it's done because it's going to get hard. No matter what you do, it's going to get hard. So they want to get out of the truck. A lot of times the guys, when they're doing pools, they just blow. They're not trying to stop. So when you're trying to carve all this stuff on shotcrete day, you got to just keep up, and it's a grind, and it's brutal. Blowing all the way out here to this beach entry, which is one of the coolest inventions they came up with, I don't know, 20 years ago, whatever. But it's basically the pool water comes around and then feathers out, and you can just walk right out like a beach. They're so cool. If I ever have the money, I'll put a beach entry in a pool in my house. But big, deep pool, lots of concrete, lots of shotcrete being blown in. Satellite rock here again to try and balance out this space. And you'll notice in the back we've got these little prep footings for the slide that's coming in. Again, that's not been shot yet. We're going to do a complete shoot on the rock work, and that has to come in later. But this is shotcrete day. You can see how their guys are troweling it down with a big long pole here with the finishing trowels on there. There's probably a name for that. I don't remember the name of that. Building it in, letting this all set up, and then they'll come back because they don't want it to fall out. And that's what happens. You have to time it right as you're shooting these pools. You work your way up, and they move those all the way around, and it's kind of an organic process, but it has to be monolithic. So here we have this gentleman focusing right there on the edge. Bender boards for your perimeter. Just little sticks, you pound them in the dirt, and you check with your laser levels, or these guys sometimes use a hose with water in them to be able to establish that exact line right there, making sure that's perfectly level. We've got that satellite rock, and it makes everything solid below water. Water level is below this because this is a little step up, or that's a filter. I'm not sure if that's a skimmer location. Big spa. You could put a football team in there. I mean, it's really huge, pretty crazy. Steps out, Baja shelf here with a step down. Satellite rock is right over here. This where these little uprights are, as you see there. All this soil in the back will be backfilled into the area behind our rock feature right there, as we talked about. That's those boards over there. So pretty cool, man. This was really happy how this thing came out. So you can kind of see they're working their way from the edge back down and the bottom up. There's a fake rock. You can see the angles here. Notice that. It's a big, nice plane. It's not a bubble. It's not a bubble gum roundy thing. And that was right there, in fact, a skimmer. That's what that little step down is. So that's what that is about. Tarp sub, trying to protect as this stuff is being blown everywhere, and it goes everywhere, I tell you. The hose comes down, and it's got that compressor, an industrial strength compressor. The little scaffold system is pretty interesting. These things are like custom made somewhere. Maybe you can buy them already made. But these ones, I think someone was built for them. I've got one of those. I used to have two, but lost one. Just put a 2x4, and it's got little screws on the end. See if I can zoom in to see. Yeah, there's the screws right there, and that tightens it up to the board. So these can be set at any length, and there's a screw right there that screws that board in, so that's tight. And then just plain old just on the ground there. Yeah, so these are really convenient, very versatile. On top of that, you got your planks, and yeah, so we'll keep moving through here. Farther away, you get to see how big this thing is. Beautiful, crazy big yard. They're going to put a outdoor kitchen and barbecue with a patio cover over here. I keep looking at the picture and pulling my hat down so you can't see. Sorry about that. Again, another look from the other side. You can see the depth that we have here in this faux rock grotto space, cave space. All up here with all that rebar sticking up is going to turn into something, as you may recall from that last picture. Way up in the air, Shane was standing like somewhere up here, up in the air. So the top of that is like 25 feet to the bottom of the pool or something. And doing shotcrete is pretty intense, man. There's this big, giant cement truck comes in, and it's like, okay, Dave, go do something with this. Oh, man, those shotcrete days darn near kill me. I'm such a wreck. I did a video of the Monster Alpine job, and people were like writing in, Dave, are you okay? Don't die, because I was so wrecked I could barely talk. So now this is after shotcrete day, and this is where we're building a retaining wall. There's a little footing for it, and we've plumbed down below, so we're going to be below deck here, and then there's going to be a deck up on the top here. This is all going to be backfilled to give us that upper deck area. Here's the slide prep. Notice these are little shelves. So in fact, the slide is not sitting on a slope. It's actually sitting on little terraces. So that whole slide with gravity pulling down, it can't move. It won't slide downhill, although with a slide it looks like it might, but it's actually got little pads that go all up, and that's all engineered specs that you have to follow based on the engineering they give you. They just dig them out and make sure they're basically flat or even leaning back a little bit into the slope. Yard goes way up the slope, way up the hill, and those stairs take you up there. The slide start's going to be up here in the air, so we had to figure out how that's going to all work, and you can see that from the other pictures. So we went ahead and poured that up. Just put boards down. It doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to be all dialed in. Just put the boards in there and you're good to go. And these little pieces are just put down there when the concrete goes in. When it's, if it's deep enough to a foot or more, you can just take a piece of rebar with a bend in it, an L bend on the bottom. So that's on the bottom. Just slide it into the mud and it'll hold it right there. And that's not going anywhere. So we have that there. Now we've completed that little portion, and this is where the blocks are going to go. They're going to use cinder block. I don't think the big 8/8/16. I think it's 6/8/16. So they're 6 inches wide. They're the thinner The thinner cinder blocks is what I do believe. This plumbing goes down and it's out of our way. It's not going to be in a place where it's going to be at risk. This will all be backfilled to this height of the deck or the height of this retaining wall back here. And that creates, again, like a deck area up above. These are 3 steps that we have that are going to be made. I painted those out. I helped with the design of the whole pool. I put the whole thing together, so where that pool is and how it's made is all based on the design that I put together for the client. Great client. I did another swimming pool with a big slide and a swimming grotto, but this was much bigger than that one. So he moved east here in San Diego County and wanted to make another one. And so I will help you out with that. So I did. So this shows the steps as they're going to go up to get you to this upper deck area again, which is going to be backfilled with all of that. And then this will be level. The top of the spa will be the level, the elevation. And that has the spa top there. It's going to get another 3 inches of flagstone. I can't remember. I have to look at the end picture. Flagstone, now I remember it. So flagstone's going on top. That adds 3 or 4 inches to the top of the coping on both the spa and the pool itself. Backfilling this whole area, you put the foam up, backing, waterproof the concrete behind the foam. That helps protect the waterproofing material from scratches from your compaction process. So all this soil is being slid back with a compactor, jumping jack, whacker, compactor, compress all that soil so you're not going to have settling when you build a deck up on top of here. I believe that's a drain. Let's zoom in to see if that is, that's a feed pipe for my water feature, as I'm recalling. You see the steel has been added to here, and we've begun building the rock shape for the whole grotto space. So this is the shotcrete day complete, and you see the wonderful waterfall here, which is so cool. Big rocks, little rocks, angles, zigzags. Look at nature. Look at God's rocks to get the best designs. Look at the cracks, trying to keep asymmetry involved. When you come into putting the cracks in, you can see areas here. How does that match God's rocks? You get the slip sheets of plastic underneath here, so those things can move ever so slightly in the heat of the summer when it's 110 degrees maybe here in East San Diego, all the way down to freezing weather in the wintertime. So you can kind of zoom in. I'll zoom in a little bit. That pipe right there is actually a drain pipe for these upper ponds. So the water, when it's turned off, will come all the way out, and we don't have standing water in these ponds up in the back there, okay? And right here, the slide as well, all that different, like that length of slide is quite a ways. There's a lot of force. We don't want the slide to crack, so we want to disconnect this from the pool. Otherwise, you're almost guaranteed a crack somewhere right around this area if you don't correct that and have the opportunity for expansion and contraction. So again, going back and finishing up here, this project review, we're just looking at a part of this build. You see the cave entrance there. We see the pegboard that is here. And this is, like I said, just pretty much after the shotcrete day. I'll zoom in a little bit. You can see how we make those different pieces of the pegboard. And there's the brown side and the white side. The white side tends to not stick as much, but it sort of doesn't matter. I don't worry too much about it as to which side we use. This is all the roughness. These little voids will all be patched up and filled in by hand. These will all be taken off. We use an angle grinder with a diamond disc or a carbide disc to cut off the tie wires. You can see them in little places if the let's see, the resolution is good enough. So yeah, there's a little line right there and right there. And those are tie wires that go across those little spaces right there. So if you can see, okay, that's can't see too much when you zoom too much in. So that's an 8-foot ladder right there. So that shows you that's 8 feet. So it's quite a tower of rock creation. And this switches to the finished rock work that we have there. And after many days of fixing and patching and texture coating and waterproofing. All this stuff has waterproofing up to the level of the water line, which is somewhere around in there, I would say. So this is the rebar, 1/2-inch steel we use, I believe, for that whole thing. This was a big jump up in my level of challenge in terms of design, scope, and scale. A lot of times I take on the challenges of new projects and I get a kick out of making them nice and big and new challenges. In fact, I was thinking about all the stuff I've done, and it's so amazing and fun, the different challenges that each new project holds. And I always try to come up with something I haven't done before just to make it interesting. And so you can see right here on the right that's coming over and beginning to be the roof. So I can stand up in here at the level of that 2x4 right there and be able to not bump my head. I'm 6'5", so if I don't bump my head, most everybody else is not going to bump their head either. So, all right, so that is it. You can see the texture there, which is kind of fun. And this is that system of using fog coat thrown on. Try and throw the fog coat in ways that maybe it looks like a little stratification is going on here. Change the level of detail. I make little handholds right here and here, for example. Kind of fun to try to climb up these rock things when you just have the pool water behind you. If you don't, if you let go, you're just going to plop in the water, which is fun. This is the cave entrance going in this way. And another video, we'll take a look at the inside of this and maybe more of that prep work on the inside of the grotto. Waterfall looks cool right here coming down. It bounces off a lot of rocks, little rocks. You want to get little details. You just don't always have big rocks, and you don't want to have just medium rocks. You need variety. Look at nature to figure out where cracks go. Pay attention to that kind of stuff. There's the technique and the steps that will make sure you have an authentic or a more authentic looking feature, and then you want to have your construction methods so that it's waterproof as best as you can get it, cutting down on the rust potential in the future down the road. So water's going to come off here and flow into the pool. I like to get to where I'm not going to bump my head underneath here. You can see inside here is the interior of the grotto space, and right back around that corner is a stairway that rolls back up and gets you all the way to the top of the cool project here. So, all right, back to the center here, and I will make myself big. I was out in the sun and my nose is a little red. Yeah, back on the rock pile doing stuff. All right, so hope you like this video. I'm having fun going back into the past and talking to you guys through this stuff. Gotta find all the files. I have 29,000 pictures. It's like insane. So anyway, I'm enjoying going back in time and talking to you about these things. I hope you like it. Let me know if you have any questions or what kind of projects you'd like to see. I've got some that show lagoon type rock work, stratified rock. Of course, the bouldery thing, which is sort of my staple, and what is around San Diego. You can see in the back corner here on the left as you're looking at the video, rock groupings right here. So, and all up here on the slope. So these pictures are from San Diego East County, and that's kind of what's here. So that's kind of the reason why I've sort of gravitated towards doing the bouldery kind of thing as opposed to some of the cliff faces and stuff that you have back east. And the mountain faces and stuff that I see other rock guys do, which are awesome too. So anyways, hope you're having a good day. Keep on rocking on and doing stuff that you love to do, and never give up, never give in. Keep on powering on, man, and hang in there when life is hard and suffering is attacking you. Try to keep looking up and be a blessing to others. That's an awesome thing. So learn, grow, become. Good thing to think about. And if you need any more information on stuff, you can go to davehenderson.podia.com. That's my little online store. It has free stuff to download, tons of cool things you can get for free. And then there's full course promos that have all kinds of content that shows you how to do this in great detail. Grab what you like, get what you want, and learn and how we do this stuff a little step at a time. All right, so, and get ready. Jesus is coming back. Are you ready? Get him in your heart, and he can take you home. Crazier the world gets, the less crazy you want to be, and getting God in your heart will help you do that and give you that peace that surpasses understanding. So anyway, thanks for watching my videos. Like, subscribe, send them around, and if you want to support me, you can sign up for a Rockin' On membership at davehenderson.podia.com, that site I just mentioned. And that gives me a little bit of support to help me be able to afford to do this and that kind of thing. So thank you so much for all your support, your kind words, your prayers when I've gone through medical issues have been just awesome and such a blessing. So I hope you're having a good day. Until next time, we will see you on the rock pile. All right. See you later. Have a good one, man. Bye.